US officials are warning about the potentially life-threatening impacts of Hurricane Milton as it barrels towards the Florida coast. Milton is one of the most powerful storms to form in the North Atlantic in recent years. It comes just 2 weeks after Hurricane Helene caused substantial damage across the US. The storm is expected to hit Wednesday. When will Hurricane Milton hit Florida? The National Hurricane Center, NHC, expects Milton to make landfall as an extremely dangerous hurricane in the U.S. state of Florida on Wednesday night, local time. It could strike near the city of Tampa, whose wider metropolitan area has a population of more than 3 million people. Forecasters are warning of torrential rain, flash flooding, high winds, and possible storm surges, which occur when water moves inland from the coast. They say Milton could be the worst storm to hit the area in about a century, with a surge of 10 to 15 50, 3 to 4.5 millimeters possible, and localized rainfall of up to 1.5 if. Where is Hurricane Milton, and what is its path? Milton became a Category 1 hurricane on Sunday and has been steadily moving eastwards through the Gulf of Mexico after brushing past Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. BBC weather presenter Chris Fawkes said it had undergone explosive intensification in a 24-hour period, culminating in sustained wind gusts of 200 mph, 321 km/h. It was placed in the most powerful hurricane category, 5, though it has fluctuated in strength. While the hurricane dropped in intensity on Tuesday before returning to Category 5 status, officials warned that it could double in size before striking Florida on Wednesday. The core of the hurricane is expected to pass over west-central Florida, with a large storm surge expected along a swath of the state's coast ahead of landfall. In an update on Tuesday night, the NHC said the hurricane had wobbled to the south, leading forecasters to alter its track slightly. Even the most accurate forecasts are typically off by about 60 miles, 100 kilometers, when the storm is 36 hours away, forecasters said. Milton is then due to cut across the peninsula before ending up in the Atlantic Ocean. Where are the Hurricane Milton evacuation zones? Floridians have been told to prepare for the state's largest evacuation effort in years, with Governor Ron DeSantis warning that a monster is on the way. Most counties are in an official state of emergency, and evacuations have been ordered up and down Florida's west coast. Disaster management authorities have issued a list and map of the evacuation orders. Several large shelters have also been prepared as a last resort for those stranded. Airports in Milton's expected path have announced closures, and queues of traffic have been observed as people start to leave their homes. What is a hurricane and how do they form? Hurricanes, sometimes known as cyclones or typhoons, are a type of tropical storm that form in the North Atlantic. They bring strong winds and heavy rain. When ocean air is warm and moist, it rises and then starts to cool, which causes clouds to form. Sometimes this rising air can move away at the top of the hurricane more quickly than it can be replaced at the surface, causing the surface pressure to fall. The falling pressure causes the winds to accelerate with more air, then getting pulled in as the hurricane strengthens. The National Oceanic Atmospheric Association, NOAA, predicted that the 2024 hurricane season would be more active than usual. Rising average sea level temperatures due to human-caused climate change were partly to blame, it said. What is a Category 5 hurricane? Category 5 hurricanes are considered catastrophic by NOAA. They carry wind speeds greater than 155 miles per hour, 249 kilometers per hour, and can cause very severe and extensive damage. The U.S. government agency urges massive evacuations in residential areas near shorelines, since a Category 5 hurricane can also bring storm surges that exceed 1,5 millimeter and destroy many homes. Trees and power lines can also be downed, causing the isolation of residential areas and lengthy power cuts. NOAA says affected areas can be left uninhabitable for weeks or months. Which were the worst US Category 5s? A database from NOAA shows that at least 40 storms in the Atlantic have reached Category 5 status since 1924, though only 4 have actually hit land at that strength. Here are some of the most damaging. Hurricane Camille. Camille crashed into Mississippi in 1969, producing a peak storm surge of 24th and destroying almost everything along the coast. It killed 259 people, most of them in Virginia, and caused about 1.4 BN, 1.06 BN in damage. Hurricane Andrew. Hurricane Andrew decimated southern Florida in 1992 with sustained wind speeds of up to 165 mph and gusts as high as 174 mph. It claimed 26 lives directly and was blamed for dozens of other deaths. After causing 30 BN in damage, it was considered the costliest natural disaster in US history at the time. Hurricane Michael. Hurricane Michael slammed into Florida in 2018 with 160 mph wind speeds and was the strongest storm to make landfall in the Sunshine State. At least 74 deaths were attributed to the storm, 59 in the US and 15 in Central America, and Michael caused an estimated 25.1 BN in damage. Lower category storms. Milton comes less than 2 weeks after Hurricane Helene hit the US as a Category 4 storm, killing more than 200 people and becoming the deadliest hurricane to strike the US mainland since Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Subscribe to our channel for more updates on weather.